Elevated offers on Delta cards, an easy $500 checking bonus from Chase. I've got the top tourist destinations that people think are overrated, and I've also got a story today as it relates to paying for Super Bowl tickets and the price that comes along with that, and of course the drama that ensues. That and a lot more on this week's edition of the Weekly Pointers News Update. I'm Brandon Boyd with the Brandon Boyd Show. In these episodes that come out every Sunday, my goal is to catch you up on all the news you may have missed regarding credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, and everything in between. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I have no clue who's going to win. My guess is it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, if I had to guess, but you can go back and watch this later on to see if my prediction is accurate. Let me know who you want to win the Super Bowl as well. Hopefully it works out for you. And remember that Chipotle deal that I mentioned in last week's episode during the Super Bowl. So while you're watching it, make sure you take advantage of that. It's super simple to follow along. The topics are on the screen. There's a timer on the screen as well, along with timestamps down in the description below. And if you do find this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. And subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications for alerts, and use my referral link down in the description if you're interested in any of the cards mentioned in today's video. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm sure you've got a ton of food to eat during the Super Bowl as well. It's going to be an exciting day. Let's get into the news. Delta has just released some elevated offers on their credit cards through American Express, and they're a little bit better than normal. So right now, the Gold Delta Sky Miles card has an 80,000 mile bonus, the Platinum 90,000, and the Delta Reserve 100,000, along with business card offers from the Delta Gold Business Card. That's 90,000 on that. The Platinum Delta Business Card is 100,000, and then the Delta Reserve is at 110,000 miles. Now, if you're aware, if you watch this channel a lot, you'll know that Delta often releases elevated offers on their cards throughout the year. Sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're very good. In this case, this is a better round of welcome offers than what they came through with last time. So if you're interested in getting a Delta card now, may not be a bad time to pick one up. My wife and I both have one. We find them to be very useful. And if you're a Delta loyalist, why not pick one up, grab some extra miles? BILT has sent a really interesting survey to existing customers, and it looks like they want to change the game, at least, in what services and cards that they offer. So a recent survey was sent out to current users of BILT, which is really interesting. I would think that they would try to include some people that are not, but for right now, in their 2025 roadmap that they outlined late last year, they talked about possibly adding some new cards. One, the no annual fee card, a $95 annual fee card, and a $550 annual fee card. And of course, as those annual fees go up, you're gonna see additional multipliers, additional benefits, things like that. I'm going to pop them up on the screen here just so you can take a look at what is possibly being proposed in these three different levels of BILT cards. Now, the BILT card is very interesting because it does allow you to pay your rent with a card, right? So that's pretty exciting. It was definitely innovative in the space when it came in, and it looks like they're trying to expand on what they're doing right now. So if you're a current BILT customer, as you look at these on the screen, do any of these options entice you at all? And if you're not a BILT customer whatsoever, what do you think about the multipliers associated with these possible changes in the card lineup and the annual fees, things like that? It's really interesting to take a look at. I think BILT came in really strong when they first came in. It's been kind of ho-hum here and there as things have gone along, but it looks like 2025 is going to be a big year for BILT. Let's stay tuned. One of the nicest ways to earn some extra money, and one of the easiest ways, is through bank bonuses. This is where you essentially sign up for a promo offer from a bank that's offering an incentive for you to sign up for either a checking account or a savings account. In this case, Chase has a welcome offer for people signing up for new checking accounts that could get you as much as $500 with not as much deposit needed as normal. So right now you can get a $500 bank bonus with as little as $10,000 deposited into their accounts. Now you may be looking at that and saying, Brandon, I just don't have $10,000 to throw around in there. But if you do, just move some money in there, create an account, get $500. Do you have to pay taxes on that? Yeah, you do. They are gonna send you a form, and they're gonna call that interest earned on any of these bank bonuses. So keep that in mind. There are gonna be taxes paid on this later on in the year, but at least for now, get that money up front. It's easy. There's no direct deposit required, which I like as well. Again, that's one more step taken out of the process that should make things a lot easier. Make sure you look for that $500 Chase banking bonus and pick up an extra $500. It may help pay off some of those Super Bowl bets that didn't quite work out. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel a lot. I've been to a lot of places, seen a lot of really unique cities, monuments, all these kind of things. But there is a new article that came out listing the top 11 most overhyped places to visit, or tourist traps, or whatever you want to call it. Long story short, places where people didn't think it was necessarily worth it, based on the hype around it. I'm going to pull up the list. Let's scroll through this. I'm going to share my thoughts on it too and let you know because I've been to quite a bit of these, and let me know what you think. So first of all, the number one is the Mona Lisa in Paris. Now I've got to say the Mona Lisa, when you go up to it, not as big as you would think. It's actually pretty small, but there's this huge crowd around it. You have to wait in line just to get a picture in front of it. It's kind of crazy. Looks a lot different than what you would think when you're looking at it online. The picture is actually quite small, but it's still worth going to because the rest of the art exhibit is absolutely amazing. Scrolling down the list here real quick just so we can cut through this. Times Square in New York City. Look, I love New York City. You can never get me to say anything bad about it for the most part. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. I wouldn't go out of the way to see this unless it was on a regular tour or something like that. I've been to it, it's fine. The Hollywood Walk of Fame in Los Angeles. It is pretty cool if you find some people that you want to get your picture of, you know, put your face right next to somebody that's really famous that has a star on there. But also, it's a really dingy, dirty area of the city. So keep that in mind when you go. Just keep an eye out for what's going on around you. Moving on, the London Eye, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I've seen it, it's fine. It's nothing to write home about. Santorini, Greece, this is a place that's on my list to go very soon. It looks absolutely beautiful, and whenever I see pictures of Greece, this is usually what's shown. Stonehenge in England, I just went there last year. I love Stonehenge. I love conspiracy theories around Stonehenge. I love it. The Blue Lagoon in Iceland, also visited there last year. The reason that this one is on here is because a lot of people say the Blue Lagoon is becoming too commercialized. But bottom line, when you go out there, you're out in the middle of nowhere. The Blue Lagoon's awesome. It's a big place. There's a lot of people that go there, but it's so big that you never feel like you're overcrowded or anything like that. I love it. The Changing of the Guard in London, that always looks really cool. The Great Wall of China, I definitely want to visit at some point. And then rounding out the top 11 is the Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen, Denmark. Never seen that one either, but a lot of these I have seen. Don't let anybody tell you what you should or should not see when you travel. If it's something you really want to see, absolutely go for it. There are several on here where I'm like, why wouldn't you go see that? What else are you going to see that's going to compare to a leaning tower that looks like it's going to fall over at any second, right? It's something to really see in person. Would I go out of my way to see it? No, not necessarily. The Blue Lagoon's awesome. New York City's great. There are some sketchy parts of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Keep your eyes and your head on a swivel when you're going there because it could be a little sketchy, but otherwise, let me know what places that you visited that you think are a little bit overrated. What places were you excited to go to, and then when you got there, you're like, not so much. I don't really get what this is all about. That's going to help a lot of people out as well. Put that down in the comments. Let me know what you think. You know, every week on the Weekly Pointers News Update, I like to share a story as it relates to credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, and how those all come together to create some interesting scenarios in interpersonal relationships. And since it is Super Bowl Sunday, I found a story that was posted online by a lady talking about her and her boyfriend, and her boyfriend might have paid too much money for a Super Bowl ticket, and it caused a little bit of drama. Let me know if you think that she's overreacting or if he was wrong in the process, or maybe it's a combination of the two. All right, so I'm going to read this directly from the source here from the poster online. This is from the lady's point of view. 2023 is a very busy year for my boyfriend and I. He has several work trips coming up, and we talked about doing a lot of travel this year as we continue through our relationship. However, we did decide to not spend as much money during travel this year for each trip because we weren't able to afford it as we are younger. I'm 23, he is 28. So we're trying to save money, be responsible, and maybe not take as many trips together, but take the ones that are gonna be a lot of fun and we're gonna enjoy ourselves for not a lot of money. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he decided that he wanted to go to the Super Bowl because the team he supports could potentially be playing in it. I'm upset now that he is willing to spend $6,000 to $8,000 on this game between flights, lodging, and the actual game tickets. He is going alone and not with his friends. He can afford to go on this trip, but I'm upset because of the amount of money that he valued football more than he values our relationship. As I mentioned previously, we talked about saving money for each trip just because we didn't want to overspend and make good financial decisions. He is now upset with me because he's saying, I don't understand how the Super Bowl works and how rare of an opportunity it is for him to be able to go to the Super Bowl and support his team. I do feel like he prioritizes me in a lot of situations, but this decision has hurt my feelings because I don't feel like I was considered. So am I the jerk for being upset and not wanting him to go to the Super Bowl because he told me that he couldn't go on as many trips together this year because of finances? Just to be clear, I have no issue with the cost of the trip because he can afford it and we don't have combined finances, but it's just that he didn't share this with me in advance. A lot of these stories simply come down to communication, and I think it's the case in this one as well. The boyfriend's paying between $6,000 and $8,000 between lodging, flights, all those things, plus the Super Bowl tickets, which are absolutely ridiculous. But let me know what you think about this. He is doing this trip alone. He's not going with friends or anything like that and abandoning her to go with other people. In this case, he's literally just going by himself. However, she is saying that they should have saved the money and done some stuff together because they already talked about, hey, their finances aren't the best in the world. We should take fewer trips with each other, build our relationship. Did he go in the wrong by not letting her know in advance? I think really that's the key. When you don't talk about these things in advance and you just go out and do it and you don't talk about it together. However, it is important to note that this is just a boyfriend-girlfriend scenario, and she openly acknowledged that they don't have combined finances. So there's a lot in play here. Who do you think's in the right or wrong? Let me know in the comments. And after the Super Bowl's over with, a lot of you may have had a lot of beer, a lot of wine, a lot of liquor. You need something to help with that hangover. Well, I've got a cure. How about a hangover burger for free? This one is as easy as it sounds. So Hardee's or Carl's Jr. on the day after the Super Bowl on Monday, they are offering a free hangover burger, and I'm gonna put a picture of this up on the screen. It looks like they've thrown everything in the kitchen sink into this picture. I'm not even sure what's on it. It looks like tater tots, about 3 different sauces, cheeses, bacon, and a hamburger patty. What else would make you feel any better after you've had too much to drink than a big, greasy burger? Now, it's important to note that this is only for people that have downloaded the Hardee's or Carl's Jr. app. Once you've downloaded that app, you'll be notified in the rewards section of that app that you can redeem the free burger. Now, this is obviously going to be while supplies last. Hardee's and Carl's Jr. do have to stay in business after all, but a free hangover burger, what a great way to celebrate the day after the Super Bowl. I don't know. Well, this has been a really fun episode. We covered a lot of different topics. We talked about elevated card offers, an easy bank bonus, BILT doing some different things with their card lineup. I've got to know what you think about the top tourist traps, I guess you would call it. Let me know what places that you think are a little bit overrated. And I also want to hear your feedback on that Super Bowl ticket story. That one's really interesting. It always causes drama when you don't communicate with finances in a relationship. It just leads to bad things. Always keep that in mind. Keep in mind, if you're interested in any cards mentioned in today's video or applying for a new card in general, just use my referral link down in the description below. And when you do that, it does greatly help support the channel. I can't thank you all enough for doing that so far. If you found this video helpful or mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications for alerts, and when you click on the Brandon Boyd Show, click, 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 you are gonna get the latest information on credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, free burgers, and everything in between. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. We'll see you soon.